Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
You know, we are on the air and everywhere from the community to the world. The Brown Beauty is back on duty with you, Jesse T. Fresh off the Oscars presentation. They did kick me out of a couple of places this weekend. What can I tell you? They do that to me sometimes. I just get a little wild and crazy. Hope you had a good weekend. I'd like to hear what you have to say about the Oscars. I have my politically incorrect way of talking about it. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow on Roundup Wound Up because, oh my goodness, the Oscars. Why do they have to make it so political? Just get your reward and get the heck off the stage and look pretty and handsome and whatever else, right? Okay, but we're back on the air. It is a Tuesday in Southern California. Yeah, you see that right there? Yeah, I know. I know. You caught it. What can I do? Yeah, what can I didn't make the pit stop. I tried, man.
Yeah.
So,
I'm talking about your hair.
oh, you like my spiky? This hairdo is like, what, Roadrunner? Or no, what was that cartoon? That cartoon when we were growing up. You're too young and beautiful to know that cartoon. Huh?
I think it was the Roadrunner. The peacock?
No,
the one?
yeah, the Roadrunner had that hair, but there was also, it was not Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse didn't have that hair. Who had that hair? No, it wasn't it? The Rooster. That sounded like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, it's the Colonel. And also, I think some of the Pokemon guys have this spiky hair.
Yes.
And some of the, what was the other one when you were growing up? Pokemon, there was another one called
Koku?
Koku, and there was
Yes.
another one that started with an M. They were fighting all the time.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, that one too. So I think I have that here. You see, well,
Yeah.
you know, what can I tell you? Actually, what happened this morning, I woke up and looked in the mirror and freaked myself out, and my hair has just been, right? That's actually what happened. Hey, to the left of me, I have a very beautiful, talented, wonderful, young entrepreneur businesswoman, and she's going to come in here, and she's just stopped off just to give me $25 because, you know, this is my way of being homeless and begging. Can I have $25, please? It's the Jesse T Show on a Tuesday in Southern California. Giovanna Salas. Did I say that right?
Yes, you said it right.
The heart of Hollywood is in with us. We're going to be talking about her network. It's a great social network. A lot of connections made there. And we're going to be chatting about that and all the good things that are coming up. But first off, let's take care of some business here. It lets you know where you can find us if I can get my phone turned on. Hello, how are you? Yes, oh yes. Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. It's good to have you along with us there at thepowervoices.com, www.thepowervoices.com. And you can check us there on our global radio network across America and the world. We're on the air and everywhere from the community to the world on Instagram Live at Jesse Torrero. Also on YouTube, we're trying to build that one up, and you can help us build that one up because you got a giant network of people that, just honor you. Right, yes. And so that's YouTube, Jesse Torrero. We're live there, and live stream Periscope, Tumblr, Reddit, Diggy, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest.
All those wonderful tools.
Yes, the Homeboys Network, GiveJesse.com Money Network, GiveJesseFood.com Food Network. Please.
It's okay.
Is it okay? Oh, yeah. Thank you. It is. It's in already. Man, don't you know when we're plug tuning? Okay. And today is Tuesday, another beautiful day in Southern California, as we bring on a very lovely lady. And she was posting up this week. She's saying, I don't have any idea what Jesse T is going to ask me. Oh, I don't know about that.
Me neither.
Quite frankly, I don't know either. I just wanted someone pretty other than Lee Michaels, who's on the other end of the microphone, who you can see on our websites all around everywhere because he was out there at the Oscars presentation with us. And so let's jump into the show and let's get down to it because we want to know what this beautiful, talented, entrepreneurial woman, but she's a businesswoman. She's got a huge network that she's starting. There you are. Look at that. You're on Facebook right there.
Hello, friends.
And you're out there on Facebook and Instagram and live stream and Periscope and all that stuff goes out. So that's very cool. So we got that going. That's cool. All right. And but how did your Oscars weekend go? Let's first talk about that because that's on everybody's mind so far. How did your Oscars weekend go? Did you do anything special?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to the show.
Right.
And the Oscar weekends for me, I think was very special.
Right.
It was very special because, Guillermo del Toro won.
Right. Yeah.
His picture, so
yeah,
it's a bit inspiration. No,
his
work
director,
is just amazing. And well, I have a wonderful week. I was at Universal Studios in a gala, so I have a
lot of people don't know you're a photographer.
Good, yeah.
And you're a model.
Well,
she's a nuclear scientist too. She's a doctor of fine arts. She has a mechanical engineering degree.
No.
Oh, sorry. No. I mean, what do you not do? Really, that's the question. But you had a good time at Universal?
Yes, it was.
Where was it at Universal? Because everybody's been to Universal. Was it on the lot?
It was this City Gala event.
Oh, it was up on top where all the shopping mall is, right?
Yes.
Nice.
So I got to. I went there because I have like quite a few motivation speakers friends. So I went there to moral support. Media coverage.
So they were motivating people, but you had to motivate them. Well, yeah.
Moral support, everybody needs it.
Yeah, everybody does need it.
Yeah.
The worst thing to do when you're speaking on tour is stay there. Thank you. The worst thing to do when you're motivational speaking, because I did that for almost 10 years, and is to look out on the audience and one, well, there's nobody there. So that means you didn't make any money. And two, you don't have a friendly face. It's always nice to see a friendly face out there.
Well, I guess that helps.
It does. It does. Motivational speaking is a lot like doing stand-up comedy. The two, I think, most important things that if you are or ever want to be an actor or you want to get on stage or you want to be a presenter or you want to ever have good speaking skills, become a motivational speaker or a stand-up comedian. Because you have your instant, it's instant. The feedback is right in the moment. And boy, when you suck.
Well, I think it's when you have, the most important, when you have a story to tell. You have a story to tell that you think that
I'm going to move you a little closer. So. Okay, thank you. That's all right.
The others can benefit and learn something. I think that is when you make changes and you can allow people to get transformed and become the best of them.
Did you have a problem getting up in front of people when you first started your entrepreneurial career?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that I ever have a problem being in front of people or speaking with people. So I'm very social.
Right.
I'm very social. I like to work in a team. And I love my team, by the way.
Right.
Anything that I do in any success that I may have, or perhaps, in the near future, I think that nobody does the things alone, first of all. And so you always have to say thanks to your mentors, thanks to the people that support you along the way.
Right.
And I have a beautiful team. I'm in love with my team, So Edgar Portillo, our editor Alex, Jose Beltran, my business partner, and I have other business partners, but they are just people cannot do the things alone.
Well, you're the CEO of Heart of Hollywood, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But I still want to find a little bit about your background. When I first got on stage, I had to get up there in a tiger striped Speedo, and it ruined me for life. The Speedo, right? It was terrible. It was a horrible experience. Don't you just feel sorry for me? No, she doesn't. I've been trying to get people to feel sorry for me for a long time. I figure if I can't woo them with my charm, I'll break their hearts with my sorrow.
No.
So now you have an interesting background. Your ethnicity is, you have a little bit of Italian, you were telling me, that way back when the Dead Sea was alive and Jesus Christ was walking on the earth and Allah was born, 400 years later, and whoever else. You were great, somewhere in the greats, Pastor, because when it gets past Grandpa, I get lost with the greats, Well, but someone was from Italy or had Italian background, and they fell in love with a Native American or North American woman?
Yes, pretty much, my background, I'm Mexican.
Right.
So there's a lot of
Geez,
culture.
I thought you were from Jupiter.
So I have a lot of family all over Mexico and the U.S.
Right.
But my background is a very beautiful background. I feel more related with my native descendants because my grandmother used to speak Nahuatl.
Oh, really? Now, what part of Mexico-American border is that? Is that north? Is that the desert part of Mexico, or is that
no?
The southern
it's more
part?
towards the jungle, Chiapas, Oaxaca.
Oh, so down south.
Yes.
Oh, that's a whole. You know what? A lot of people don't know. They don't realize that Mexico is just not desert.
No, it's not.
You get about about 500 or 600 miles. Right. Kind of where the Baja California ends, the tip right there, and then from that point on, man, you guys got snow on your mountains. You got
we have snow.
You got a Grand Canyon out there, the size of the Grand Canyon. A lot of people don't realize
no, it's
that.
Mexico is it's a very beautiful country, and is the diversity is immense.
Right.
All land, culture, food.
Right.
And that's the people there is beautiful, and I think. Here, we have beautiful landscapes in Iowa. I mean, I feel such ashamed too because I think that I know this country more than my own country.
Really?
I had traveled around the U.S. Yes.
Yeah, but that'll happen. You were a little girl when you came here, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
You're still young. You're only 19, right?
Well, I have.
That'll cost you another $25.
Well, I have more than 10 years here in the U.S., but. The reason how I came here was because I was making my living as a painter in Mexico.
Were you a painter of portraits or painter of faces, or were you a painter of walls? Or
no.
Like I was when I was growing up, graffiti painted. I painted on everybody's garage and ran really fast.
Well, let's say a little bit of that too.
I got to be a good sprint painter. I could print, I could paint and sprint really fast.
I did some murals. I love to do murals. It just kind of started when I never draw or paint before. I was 17 when I started painting. And then
no classic training.
No. I have a private instructor later on that actually was a student of Diego Rivera.
Oh, nice.
And so he taught me the video color and the concepts.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot from here. And I kind of became like I don't call myself an artist, but I loved art. So I just kind of became a painter, painting stuff. Right. And I was working in a gallery, and somebody from San Diego, he had like a commission painting for that gallery that I was working for. And he demanded, I want to see my portrait of my family,
your portfolio,
right? So it was in the back with all the other painters. And he saw my painting when I was painting, and he said, that's a little bit different. Would you like to exhibit in San Diego in a gallery? And I said, yes. I didn't know where it was San Diego.
Right. You didn't even know where San Diego was.
No.
It just sounded good.
No.
That's a nice place to live, San Diego.
But I was able to cross and all. So I said yes. And so that started.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how things start on a fluke?
Yes.
That's kind of when things start, isn't it? It's like if you plan and plan and plan and plan and plan, it takes forever. But then all of a sudden, you're at 7-Eleven and somebody bumps into you and you go, can you do this? And you say, I can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
It meant to happen. It was not like it was easy for me to be able to paint. I grew up in a very conservative, old-fashioned way of family.
No, I couldn't ever imagine that. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so
old school.
Old school, very old school.
European old school or old school
European,
Mexican, French?
Old school, and I don't think that I like it very much.
Yeah, very old school. Very strict.
Very
family.
strict, very
especially
religious,
with young ladies and women.
Orthodox kind of, so it's a lot of.
The boys can get away with anything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not
fair. The women don't speak at the house very much, and they marry you because whoever they
Right.
decide that is right for you.
Right.
That kind of.
That actually used to go on in Mexico. They would pick.
Oh, they still are going on.
Do they really?
Yeah, in
Wow.
some parts, but it's more open now.
Right.
But yeah, I came from a very strict.
What happens if you're gay?
Well,
Does a gay family pick another gay guy?
you know, until now, I think that it's more open, and I'm
Right.
happy the culture.
I know that when I was in Mexico City in 1982, right?
Yeah.
And we were playing football. We played the
Yes.
University of Mexico at the Universidad of
Okay.
Mexico, right?
Yes.
And we actually played the University of
Okay.
New Mexico at the Universidad of Mexico.
Yes.
And we played in a bullfighting arena. And we were on the other side of Mexico City, living in a dormitory barracks type army thing,
Yes.
right? And we had to get across town to go to the practice field. And none of us had any pants other than our short pants. And so this was 82, right?
Yes.
81. And so we go across town, and all the guys are looking at us as we're crossing Mexico, going to the buses and the subways, and everybody's looking at us, and all the men and the women, and what little Spanish I can speak that doesn't get me in trouble with your father, or your grandfather or your great grandfather, the ghost.
Yeah.
They were whistling and calling us all kinds of things
Yes.
in Spanish, right? You know,
interesting.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes,
And
yes.
I couldn't figure it out, so I asked them, but they said, "Well, in Mexico, they knew we were gringos.
Yes.
In Mexico, men don't wear shorts
Yeah.
in the middle of the day,
Yes.
and when you do wear shorts, you're considered a little bit of the homosexual appetite, and you get whistled at, and you get chastised, and all that.
Oh my
And
God.
so with that, I took my shorts off and ran in my underwear just to make a point. But that's
Okay.
just me, Jesse T.
Well, there
so.
is a macho man.
But now, so is that still in Mexico? That sort of
No.
flavor, or is it changing
No,
like everything?
I think it has changed a lot. I think that probably my generation is one of the generations where we welcome more technology. We
Right.
change culture boundaries, such as like don't have many children,
Right.
or don't get.
So it's very like American almost in
No,
a lot of
I
ways.
won't say that it's like America,
Mhm.
because I think that it's like the culture boundaries is
Right.
more tied to our native boundaries.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Okay.
so it's a little bit different. Like
Right.
you respect your elders, so you don't see your cousin for
Right.
20 years. You still open the
Yeah,
door for
yeah,
the
yeah,
cousin,
yeah.
and then you.
So
feed
what
them.
was your native tribe or your native
Aztecs?
Nassix?
No, Aztecs.
Aztec.
Yeah.
You're Aztec.
Like the Aztecs was.
Man, I totally understand why Coronado loved Aztec women. Look how beautiful she is, right? I mean, I can see you with a headdress and just being a beautiful Aztec goddess and
Well, my
and,
grandmother even she married a man that had an hacienda and all that kind of stuff. She denied to wearing shoes. She never wore shoes in
Really?
her life. Yeah, because she wanted to be close to the
Earth.
earth.
Well,
yeah.
there's a whole philosophy
Yeah.
about that now.
Yeah, so-
Well, there's a whole doctoring philosophy
Oh,
about that
interesting.
in America,
I wasn't aware, but
where
Yes.
psychologists and sociologists, people that deal with people's internal problems or are
Yes.
stressed out,
yes,
that type of field.
yes,
There's an idea that if you take your shoes and socks off and go out and put your feet on the earth, the dirt, not the grass, the
Yes.
dirt, the earth, right? And you do that once a day for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You get connected back to Mother
yeah.
Earth
Probably you get relaxed.
and you relax.
Yes.
And so maybe that's a way to go, huh?
Yeah, I mean, going back a little bit, like when I started painting, it was not easy, at a point, because first of all, I was going to start. I love science. I have a passion for science, but I changed my career for painting, and I left my house when I was 18, and the reason why it was because in my house I was not allowed to be a painter.
Really?
Yeah, it was like
They didn't see that as a way that you could employ yourself? Or?
They didn't saw that as a way that I will be able to employ myself,
Right.
or especially if you paint nudity too.
Oh, yeah.
So it was way too. So
Yeah.
one day when I was in college down there in Mexico, and I went back to my house, my mother took all my paintings and make a fire pit and burn my paintings.
Oh, God, that had to kill you.
So
That had to kill you.
I felt like I felt like I didn't have nothing on mine.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because that comes from your soul.
Yeah. But at the same time, it was a blessing on the sky, because if it wasn't for that, maybe I will not fight so much like I am fighting now for my dreams or somebody else that have dreams.
Right.
So I had to do a whole change. I left my house. In order to
here
pursue...
comes the rebellion, Giovanna. Now, the rebellious young lady. That's right.
I am a rebel. Yes,
I like that.
Yes, I am a rebel. So I left when the opportunity presented for me to exhibit my paintings in San Diego. I took it, and then I started like traveling a couple of states.
Really?
And then I became a photographer. I realized that
she is so photogenic. You gotta go to Google Plus Images. You go Giovanna Salas Images, and she is so photogenic. She's got some pictures there, guys. Well, let me just tell you, they're very sexy and very, very artistically done, and people that you've taken pictures of too as well.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
And so anyway, I realized that I was in love with the camera composition. So then I became a cinematographer. And
easy jump, or was that kind of hard?
No, it was kind of hard because I didn't know, so I had to learn. And well, anyway, I decided I want to know now. I want to know I'm gonna make it as a filmmaker.
Right.
I could not wait for the time to tell me, hey, no, I think that if you want something, you need to go and get it when you can.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I have done my whole life.
I talked to Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, at one of the Oscar red carpets over the weekend, and what he was telling me, and I've known Lou for a little while, but what he was saying is when he did not win the Olympia contest with Arnold Schwarzenegger going back before you were born, because you're only 19. I know you've been here 10 years and you got here when you were 17, but you're only 19. Your 10 years is only 2 years to you, but 10 years to us. There's a time warp going on there. Anyhow, he said that the reason why he didn't pursue the Olympic competition, Mr. Olympia, again the following year, is because the Incredible Hulk, ABC, the producers of that film or that TV show, came up to him and gave him an opportunity to become the Incredible Hulk.
Well, that's so wonderful.
And he had to make a decision, just like you did, that do I stay and do what I've been doing my whole life?
Or you change.
Or do I change? And is it really going to happen? Is it going to last? Is it going to continue? Or is it going to be a fluke? And so he went for it. And that's what he said. You got to go for things sometimes.
Yeah, I think it was something. I was studying in Texas business. Like I think I have a natural thing for business. I love business. It's like a game for me.
Right.
But I was studying business in Texas University, and then one day I was walking to the university, and I continue seeing the movie posters, right? And then one day I got to the school and I saw a movie poster, and I say, you know what, Giovanna? You have to stop being a hypocrite. You want to do that, That day, the next 2 days, I switched the career, and I went for radio, film, and television, and I was like so happy. Then I start making a wild horses documentary. And
on the Mustangs and stuff?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I follow wild horses.
Really, I love Mustangs.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Do you know how the horse? Since you did the documentary, I'm going to test you now.
Yeah.
This is a test.
Okay.
Of the emergency Jesse Torrero system.
Okay.
Should you pass the test, you don't have to pay me $25. If you don't pass the test, you have to buy me a Slurpee, cherry, and Coke.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. How did the horses come back to North American continent? Because they were indigenous to here, as with the camel during the times when the plates or the continents were connected.
Yes.
That's how the camel got to Arabia and the Middle East. And the horse was here, but it was the prehistoric horse was a big, huge animal. How did the modern day horse come back to North America?
There is different versions, but I think that what they say that the version there is more like it was for the Spaniards first, right? They introduced the horse.
Yes.
And then they say that it was called I can't remember. It's one name in
what
Mexico.
happened when the Spanish, the conquistadors,
yes,
Coronado and the gang came across from the east to the west. And then because he was looking for the city of gold,
Yes.
El Dorado,
Yes.
right? And so the Aztecs were really smart because they said, well, it's way up there in our country, way up there, you know, where North Dakota and South Dakota and Wyoming and Colorado.
Yes.
It's go up there. They figured they'd send him up there and he would die, and they wouldn't have to deal with his small army of conquistadors.
Yes.
But
like what happened with Fernando de Soto
same,
in Florida.
Same thing.
He was destined to discover Mexico. You
That's
know, like
right.
the Cortez did.
Yes.
And it was, the man of destiny that was Cortez instead of Fernando de Soto.
And Cortez too. They sent him up all for the land of the city of gold. But the horses, that's how some horses got away, and that's sort of what happened. And the horses, they proliferated very quickly.
And then maybe I tell you a tip about horses. When the rope, the rope and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the training they start. Who introduced that in America, like the vaquero rope and all that?
Right.
Was the Mexicans.
Caballeros.
They used to go there and brought the Mexicans to train the vaqueros.
Right.
The cowboys here.
Right. Oh, Americans coming west had no idea what they were. They had no idea.
Yeah, that was the lasso.
It was the Spaniards and the Mexicans who taught the Anglos coming west from the east how to.
I think we all learn from each other.
How to live.
But
that's true.
But I love horses.
Yeah.
That's my favorite animal. I used to have a horse when I was
Did
little.
you really?
Oh yes.
Did you have to muck it? I said muck it. Okay, guys, don't even go there. I said, did you have to muck it? Muck it, M-U-C-K-I-T. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know horses. Because I mucked 20 horses every day, and I was tired. I mucked so many horses every day for years, cleaning up horse stalls, that I was mucked out.
You were a tired mucker.
I was a tired mother mucker.
Oh, my.
That's right. And muck you, too. But mucking horses, and I got to tell them, mucking horses means cleaning up the corrals and the stalls and wiping down the horse and brushing it, mucking the horse.
Do you like it?
This sort of reminds me when, I tried to become a nude model, and when I showed up there, I was the only one that they turned away. I don't understand, Yeah. No, I didn't become a nude model, but no,
almost.
I got to really hate horses.
Yes.
Because because you're a horse person. You know that each horse has their own special personality.
It is true.
And some of them are so smart that they play games with you.
They are very smart.
Yeah, and they're mischievous little creatures, and they're big, 1,500 pounds.
And they can kill you. You don't know how to handle them.
Right. So I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. My dad built some stalls in Sun Valley, Shadow Hills, and for extra money. And my job in the summertime, of course, was to muck in the morning and muck in the afternoon. So the first time I had love with a woman, I said, I really know how to muck. Thank you. And she looked at me and she hit me on top of the head. And I didn't know why, Quite frankly, I don't even know why I got on this. But anyhow, but this one horse.
Yes.
See, my job, I had to have those stalls clean before Dad got home. That was very important.
Okay.
Because if you don't clean the stalls with a horse, they get sick because they're very sensitive animals to disease and bacteria, especially when they're confined. Okay, so and a veterinarian's bill's very expensive, and so this one horse, I would clean his stall first because he was the first one, and I would go and clean all 20. And muck it all day for about 2 hours, hour and a half in the morning. And then I would go back and come home before Dad came home, and I would muck it again, okay? Because I had to, because horses just don't hold it once a day. They just let it go anytime you want. This is going to lead to Heart of Hollywood at some point, okay? Thank you. It really is, okay? And this one horse, he knew when my father was coming home.
Yeah.
Okay? So on the second go-around of cleaning the stalls, mucking the stalls, I would clean his first, right? And then right when my dad would come home,
Yes.
there's a mare.
Yes.
She would just drop everything coming from every orifice right when my dad would drive up and get out of the car. And then she would sit there, stand there and look at me. I got you.
And so
right?
sometimes they say animals have their personalities.
Oh,
or
she had a
owners.
personality.
I mean, for me, always has been my favorite animal has been the horse. I used to ride horses with my dad when I was little. And I had my own horse. And so it just was like later on, I just fell in love with following these creatures. And it was amazing. You know, I learned so much about
and doing this documentary must have been exciting.
No, I learned so much for like interviewing the trainers, following the horse to the wild. You know, I deal with what was the difference between a wild horse from a feral horse, from a domesticated horse, from a racing horse.
Right.
And then you start learning. I mean, we can go on and on about like the different sizes and hoods and all that. Like why, you know, a normal horse, like domestic horse, cannot survive in the wild. And it's so many different things, and I still working on you know, with that documentary on horses.
I can't wait to see that. How exciting!
No, it's pretty excited. I mean, that was like the first beginnings of me starting as a filmmaker. But it was the horses who brought me to LA. And
really?
Yeah, it was a producer saw my work all the way from Texas, and that's how they told me, Giovanna, come to LA.
Wow.
And so you know, it was a hard decision because once I was already in the wild, you know, like kind of going.
Well, she has that wild kind of, you know, native, you know, Mexican, Italian, Latin, wild horsewoman Aztec look, you know. I mean, you know, especially you have a photo on one of these images. Your hair is just like boom, and I posted it up.
You haven't seen the other ones.
Lord, I don't want to see that. You know, look at. I don't know what I'm going to do. I had a hard enough time being stable watching those pictures. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
So now you decide to do all this, change your vocation, become a cinematographer, and you come to LA and you're poking along, doing what all people do when they want to get in the entertainment business in LA. And what makes you start this organization, Heart of Hollywood, of all things, a networking organization? That's kind of cool. What makes you, puts you there?
Well, let me tell you, when I got here first to LA, I got here and I had the opportunity to work within a studio. Okay. And I want to, I guess until now, I want to establish myself as a film director.
Right.
And so I didn't so much opportunity as a woman for me in that field. Either I had to have enough money or I had to, you know, like to somebody really had to believe in me. And for that, I had to have a portfolio. It was a lot of things in and out. But I learned so much. Then I decided to jump out into the independent movie industry because first the studio is working with $24 million, but then when you jump to independent, you know that they're working with $100,000 to $5 million, even like a very low budget, and then they still making a movie. So I started working with independent producers, and I learned I have that my job experience has been the first AD, you know, producer, co-producer.
That's a tough job.
Yeah.
People don't realize how tough. You're talk about a lasso. Yeah. You're the one with the whip, the horse whip, keeping everybody going. The first AD.
You had to be able to maintain, had to be friends with everyone, but at the same time to be the right hand of the director.
Yeah, otherwise the production gets out of control.
No, you had to do what the director tell you. The most important thing is a picture at the end. And so for me, when it's my thing that they say, Giovanna, good job, I appreciate that a lot because I know that I'm not once we are in the set, I'm serious. You know, the set for me is sacred. Like for me when I paint, it's sacred. Now film is sacred. Like it's something that I don't mess with.
Right.
Either I do this because I love it. So.
Okay, give me the serious on the set look when someone's really pissing you off and the AD and the director's saying, well, and you have to go out and give me that serious look. On three. 1, 2, 3.
You know, let's go work together.
Oh, not me. I'm frowning already.
No.
No,
I mean, I have my mistakes. You learn the art how to manage yourself, because when you're a first AD, the makeup artist is like blowing out. The hairstylist,
everything's going wrong.
Actors,
I know.
The actors asking you for the DA. The cinematographer is asking when we're gonna start. You know, the director. Did you tell the crew to
the lighter,
set
the
up,
sound,
to set up
and the most important thing, craft services. When are we gonna eat?
Yeah, and then the producer is yelling at you and is saying, "Hey, Giovanna, did you tell the director he had to go to stats and block the scene?"
Yeah, because generally producers won't talk to the director. They don't like to have that intermingling right there.
Yeah. So then it's like you had to maintain. So I was like the voice between the director, the producer, the crew, and the food, the ground services.
How fun!
And so I realized I love it.
Yeah.
I was there when you're a first AD. Either you're a first AD because you love it so much, or because you're going to become a film
or you're
director.
just a glutton for punishment. That's all. That's it.
That can be too, But for me, in my case, I want to establish myself as a film director.
Right.
And so for me, is a challenge. Mm-hmm. I feel the. I'm just gonna say it. I feel it's my mission.
Right.
And once you find.
Everybody has to have a mission in life.
Yes. So for me, it's just like a painting.
Right.
Before it just was me, myself, creating something. But
my mission is to get $25. That's my mission in life.
You will get it.
I'm going to get $25 from somebody today.
You guys need to get $25 donation to Jesse T. Show Torrero today.
That's right. $25. That's all I want. All right. So now you jump out of this and you start Hearts of Hollywood. This networking thing is really exciting because you've taken what you've done and you're giving other people opportunities to connect the dots.
Yeah, so, being in the business first behind the scenes, because I can hear as a behind the scenes, not as an actress or, somebody in front. It's very difficult for actors and actresses. And then so mine, it was just about the business. It was about making the film. That was my priority. During this time, I learned that a lot. I went to a lot of events because I was invited, or because the production was paying for me to attend to some places. But I saw a lot of events where things was not happening. Like things was.
They were goofy, just goofy.
Just like Hollywood.
Look! You're talking the third generation here. Yeah. My grandfather did 51 years at Warner Brothers. My father did 37 years in 20th Century. Yeah. I've been doing this since Buddha was on the planet Earth.
So then
oh, come on. I've seen it all.
I wanted to.
And whatever I haven't seen, I would
kind
of like to see. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway.
No, I wanted to work with people that don't tell me, hey, I have a movie and the movie is like 10 years going. You don't do that. Yeah. No. But anyway, I decided that in the independent world, I learned all what I needed to learn. I'm sure I need to learn more. And I'm open to that. But I decided, okay, this is difficult. It's still difficult, for me as a woman, dealing with mainly most of the people that I work with, they're men. More on the
it's still a male-dominated business.
Only 4% of the 100% in the entertainment is women.
That's right.
So and then I decided.
I remember when there were absolutely no women. Yeah. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Other than the talent. Yeah. But behind the scenes and the decision makers and things.
Yeah, it's all men. So and then it was. Even it was independent, it was hard for me also to
And you're a Latina too.
Yes.
But that's actually to your benefit now because the Latin part of filmmaking and the entertainment business is blowing up in America.
I agree, but I have my points of views and I would like to share with you.
Okay.
But before we go into that, once I was in the independent industry, I decided, okay, I had learned this. Now I need to do my own.
Right.
And that is what inspired me to do. I had so many opportunities for like people like me, like entrepreneurs or people new to the town.
Right.
And so I wanted to create that. And I decided I wanted to start a company. So I started a company, Heart of Hollywood.
Right.
And so we decided what we're gonna do, provide where everybody get. During my experience, I realized that the people was doing the movie, but they didn't plan ahead. They didn't plan ahead for the post-production and distribution of the films.
That's the most important thing.
So, you know, it was, and then the marketing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I'm going to base my company in a service that everybody needs.
Right.
So that is post-production.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that, if you guys don't know, go and check Haro Hollywood Services.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Because we provide pre-production to post-production services, visual effects, sound,
you got all the
engineering.
people that do that stuff.
I have professional people that follow me from previous productions because they believe in the company and also because there was more opportunity to grow with Haro Hollywood.
Well, you know, there's an old ideology which holds true, TEAM, team, and it means together everybody achieves more. I just want $25. That's all. Just $25 today. That's it. Okay, no. So you put this together, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What's the website for that?
www.heartofhollywoodmotionpictures.com.
So www.heartofhollywoodpictures.
heartofhollywoodmotionpictures.com.
Heartofhollywoodmotionpictures.com. You can get all your post-up stuff done there. All of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't have no doubt that you won't be happy with the job. You will be absolutely happy because I have a producer not long ago came with a budget for another production company, $1.5 million. I cut the budget for the hat price with my team.
Nice.
So I know that I can offer
quality. So you got good people, good quality, and they know what they're doing. They have experience.
Yes. I work with people here in the U.S., with people in India, with people in Mexico and China. So it's not easy to do this kind of thing. So you have to be able to manage who do you work with.
Wow, I told you you were special.
And to this...
And why do I want her on the Jessie T show, you ask?
Thank you so much.
So she can... So she can give me a job and pay me $25.
Perhaps you never know. You know, maybe you will become partners. I don't know. You know. So and then to this, we wanted to let know the people what we were doing, and that's how the networking event.
So that's how
become alive.
Right.
Yeah, because I
remember when you guys started about 2 years ago.
No, actually,
was it longer? Year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
It was like. No, actually, it was like 3 years ago. But the company had another name.
Right. Oh.
But then we have.
I just remember starting seeing you on the scene out there and recognizing all the time at different events.
Yeah.
You know, Kiss the Monkeys is another networking thing, but it's a little bit different. Their direction and what they do is different than what you do. You focus all on entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a major difference.
Yes, it's a entertainment because I was working already with people in the entertainment, so they was always I was the one that they were calling and say, "Hey, Jemana, do you have a job?" I have. I have found jobs for other people, even I was not in the production, like for sound engineers, and so and then I decided, you know what, we don't do a networking event. I already know some people. And so I asked for some favors, you know.
Always ask.
I asked for some favors.
I'll do a favor for you, you know.
For people that I have worked previously.
Someday I might call on you, and I know you'll be there for me.
Yes.
My family appreciates the favor we do for you today.
Well, that's what it's called, networking. Networking, you know. So and then, you know, we did it. I called my friends. I asked for people that worked previously, please come. You might find somebody that you might want to work with or talent. And they did came. You know, they did came.
It's crazy when they come, huh? They show up. Wow.
No, and I was super happy. And I was like, oh, my God, this is awesome. The first networking event that we did, it was packed. It was full.
That's amazing.
It was like we have 5 offices in Hollywood Boulevard. And it was a raining day, like pouring rain. And I was thinking, nobody going to come. We charge for the tickets because we decided we're going to make a filter. And the event was going to be different. When they're focused on networking, we turn off the music, and it's all about networking. It's not, you cannot network in 15 minutes. No. Or let's say in a bar. No. Okay, you have to create the environment. And I think that in LA, even if we are in Hollywood, that environment is not very well created sometimes.
Oh well, of course not. Yes.
You know, if you agree that
you have a very unique networking concept that's working real well.
And
It's growing quickly.
Now,
and it's important because there's so many people that come and go out of this town, and some of them are very talented, but they never have the opportunity to be seen, heard, watched,
yes,
or found.
I think that what makes a difference is that I believe that everybody has a story to tell.
Right.
That's why you do your show. That's why I do what I do. But
I do my show just to keep me out from being homeless. You know.
Well,
yeah.
That was a very good
also,
reason
I'm
too.
here just to bug Lee.
Yes.
Forever and ever
Yes.
and ever. I become his.
Yes.
You know, why do people always try to call me when I'm on? You know, I don't understand that. But nevertheless, I'm here to bug him.
No, well, it's everybody has a story to tell, and at Heart of Hollywood, we're building a platform. We're building a platform. I know there is a lot of speakers and they tell the stories, but also there is people that never have a chance or the opportunity to go into a stage and say, I have this story, and not be in charge. Sometimes what I try to do with my team is to find people, not charging to use the platform, but to find the people that have a story to share and want to make a change, an impact, because I believe in dreams.
So now they can find you, the website, Heart of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the website is Heart of Hollywood Media, correct?
Yeah, well,
you have a couple of
separated.
them.
Yes.
You have a couple of them.
Yeah.
So if I'm somebody listening and watching today on the Jesse T Show, and I want to kind of connect with your network and participate, or go to the event, we'll talk about that. How much time we got? We got enough time? Okay. And but also to connect and be a part of your network organization.
Sure.
Because you do have a membership aspect to it.
Yes.
And you have all kinds of different things that go on. How do I do that?
Heart of Hollywood Motion Pictures is for pretty much production. All that production that has to do with movies and virtual reality, digital media content. Heart of Hollywood Media.com is for our social networking events, for memberships. We did develop memberships because sometimes you develop a network, right? And you need to let them know, regardless if it is Heart of Hollywood or is JCT or any other event, how do you get your connections, How do you expand? Because we grow if we help each other.
Yes.
And that is one thing that the Heart of Hollywood as a company believes.
Right.
And so I think that separating the website is more easy for the people to find, so they can see some of our previous events, our previous guests.
And what is that site?
HeartofHollywoodMedia.com.
And then also Facebook. I'll find you on Facebook too.
Right. In Facebook, we have Heart of Hollywood Motion Pictures and Heart of Hollywood Media.
Right.
Heart of Hollywood Media is new. We are developing that. We have probably like 50-something videos for celebrity interviews that we're doing. But that's new, and we're doing pretty well with that.
Right.
But
you have an online TV show.
Yes.
And one of my pals have been on it, Patrick Kilpatrick, and he's coming up in an event you're doing on May 18th.
Yes.
Right. See, I am going to get my $25 sooner or later here.
Please.
But seriously, you've got this event coming up, and this is sponsored by Heart of Hollywood Motion Pictures, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what that's about, because you have some interesting speakers on there.
Yes, well, at the event, since it's the first year an event from our company, and it's the first of the year,
right?
So we want to make it big, and we're gonna make it. We want to put good content at the event. So we have a couple of special speakers. One is Patrick Kilpatrick. And he's an icon celebrity.
Oh, he is.
We have Brian Benson. He's an actor, award-winning, and has speak in TED Talks.
Right.
We have Cecilia Mota.
Right.
She's a TV radio host personality. We have Sarah Mijares. She took Univision to Mexico to do a whole documentary, the first national
right across the street from
National Geographic documentary about the Mexican landscapes of the cenotes. So it's very interesting.
Wow.
And then we have Milton Johnson. There is a music producer, and he needs more knowledge, for I want to put music into. It's not just about film because it's all related. So that's why we decided that we needed to have a music producer
choreography
as well.
and music and sound effects is when a film comes alive.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so, and we were having the DeLorean Back to the Future at the event.
The Gullwing. Well,
yes, because we were creating.
That's kind of a cool car.
Yeah, we're recreating the people. It's not just the stars who walk on the red carpet. It's everybody who has a dream in life.
Right.
They feel like it's like a star because you you are the star of your life.
Right.
So you have to feel like one. And then it's pretty much why we have other personalities.
I sat in a DeLorean once, and I shut the Gullwing things, which I wasn't supposed to, and then I couldn't get them open.
Oh wow!
And so it was at a Burbank Film Festival.
Oh, interesting.
So I sat in the front seat.
They didn't fire you.
I sat in the front seat of the Gullwing, sitting out in front of this red carpet, right?
Yeah.
And for Sharknado, I think it was Sharknado 3, and I couldn't get out, and so of course Jesse T had to make a great spectacle. I put it on Facebook, and I was having a great time and living my life in the car of DeLorean.
And actually, now that I mentioned the DeLorean, I want to say thank you so much for Lenny Hotnell.
Yeah.
For the DeLorean to make this possible, because without him, like I said, you need people to make things happen, and so this is where.
So where's this going to be at though?
This is going to be in the downtown, in downtown. I have the address. It's an
It's on my website at facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. So
all the information you can find the BIP Collective Network, and you can find all the details, all the special appearances. We have some special appearances and some politicians attending the events.
Nice.
And we're gonna
anybody I know, because I know a lot of them.
Perhaps.
I know most of them.
I don't want to disclose yet the names, but we have attending.
I can tell you some really itty bitty gritty stories about them all if you want. If you tell me their name off camera.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we're gonna have some public figures there.
Good.
Some of them running for mayor.
Yes, all the mayor guys, huh?
And
yes.
And so we have some political support, some tourist support.
I'm so glad Confetti Garcetti is not going to be our mayor anymore, and the thought of him running for the presidential election. He and El Stupido Governor Brown, thank you very much, and that's for my political contact right now today. Thank you. All right. I said it, not Giovanna. I did. Jesse T.
There you go.
Okay.
So we're going to get some awards. There's a proper.
Right.
We're giving
awards, right?
We're giving some awards at the event of leaders and inspirational people from our community in Los Angeles. Right. And so I would love to say some of the names, but...
So this is kind of a big, kind of exciting thing for you guys.
Yes.
Well, how many people are you expecting?
A lot. Yes, it's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big place.
Do you know the name of the place in detail?
Yes, it's Vortex.
Oh, okay.
And other thing, we are supporting part of the proceeds for this event are going for from home racing for veterans.
Right.
I like to support veterans just in general.
Right.
Because it's a personal, maybe another time I share the story.
I mean I'm pro veteran. Anybody that serves this nation is a winner by me.
So anything that I can do for the veterans, I always will go for. And the second organization, nonprofit that we're donating part of the proceeds as well is Teatro del Barrio.
Right.
It's like pretty much a community street theater.
Right.
By the director Sergio Serdio. And he has been doing theater in L.A. in the Placita Olvera for over 13 years.
Wow.
And they've been working with their own money, buying their own costumes.
Right.
And right now, I guess I'm going to do something political area.
Right.
If somebody
I love politics.
If somebody is helping listeners from the politics side, if you guys can please give a recognition for Teatro del Barrio.
Right.
Because they have been using their own money, putting like exceptional a theater place.
And they're giving a lot of young people opportunity
for the community.
Never had.
And I can't believe that they haven't had a recognition yet.
Yeah,
it's
we have to do something about that.
Yeah. And they help the theater
You
place.
think I should go run around there with a skin-tight uniform and a neon sign on my back that says "Give Jesse T $25"? You think that'll create something?
Perhaps, yeah. but the theater plays are very,
they got the whole setup there.
I mean, theater was one of the first opening doors for cinema.
I know.
So why not support the theater? And I think the thousands of people going to see the theater. Heart of Hollywood actually did a donating campaign. We're not taking anything from there, but we create a campaign for donations because. Man. I was like, I went there. They invited me to participate in one of the roles, and I accepted to support, bring the awareness. And I was so surprised. These guys are buying their own, just literally, just making what the people want to give, like tips, cooperation. But that is not enough. These guys are really doing that because they love it. Right. And that really caused an impact in myself.
So give the website out where someone can buy some tickets. This is an open event for public too. Can they come?
Yes.
Okay, so give the website out where somebody can get some tickets and get on board and get some more info about that. And also give the website for post-production people that are interested in what you're doing.
So thank you, everyone. I'm going to give the website one more time.
Yes. We're not done yet. No, I'm just going to take you down a different path now.
So then I would like to mention another organization that we are supporting. It's called Fundemit. And it's for the human rights for migrants.
Right.
Immigrants.
Migrants,
yeah. So it's a human rights for immigrants. It's Association Fundemit. And we're supporting as well. We like to support every community.
So give those sites for me, if you will.
Yes. So the website is heartofhollywoodmotionpictures.com and heartofhollywoodmedia.com. To get tickets for our upcoming event is heartofhollywoodmedia.com.
Real quick, tell me, are you a DACA child?
No.
Came here legally?
Yes.
What do you think about DACA, real quick, in 4 or 5 words? Yes or no? For the wall or not?
I completely against the wall.
Okay. For renewing all the immigration laws in this country to make them fair and different and modern? Are you for that?
It has to be in discussion.
Right.
So I can literally say yes or not because I think that it's a lot of points and views that you need to analyze.
So will you come back and let's have a discussion about that?
Yeah,
Because I'd like to get your input since you were a Mexican citizen.
Yes.
And you were born and raised here and your family's there and now you're an American citizen. Yes. I'd like to get your input on that.
I'm not a citizen, I'm a resident.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're here legally.
Yes.
So as long as you're here legally,
yes.
Cool. I like that. Because you did it the right way.
Yes.
And I like people that do things the right way. And real quick, what kind of pie do you like?
Pie?
Pie. P-I-E. What's your favorite pie?
Pie. Let's see. Oh my God, this is a hard one.
Strawberry, raspberry, peach pie. The peach pie girl. I love her. My peach of life. Giovanna Salas, Hearts of Hollywood on the Jesse T Show. Peach. We got to go. It's so fast. Did we get everything done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we got everything done. Hey, guys, we'll see you later. The Brown Beauty's off duty tomorrow. Round up, wound up right here on the Jesse T Show. See ya. $25.
Thank you so much. And give the $25 for Jesse.
25 for anything will work for 25 pieces of peach pie.
Yes. Okay. You're gonna get your 25.
Yay!